Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to Espo Reviews, where today we're going to be checking out a track by an act named Espo Espinosa titled I'm Only Special With You. And if we switch over to here, we have the Espo Espinosa moniker here. I appreciate the heads up on that. It's nice to have this channel going there. Original music, classic music, piano and singing. I'm keen to check this out. It'd be nice to hear this new side of an artist who I've done a lot of work for. So we're gonna head through this track from start to finish and hear what we think. Let's go.
I just want to know, do you love me anymore?
I just want to read through the description first. I play my piano and I sing to you a love song. I made the song up without any preparation. I made the song lyrics up also on the fly. I hope you like it. To be honest, that's pretty fire, dude. Being able to just make that stuff on the spot, being able to improvise like that. Nice. Nice.
I just want to know, do you need me anymore? I know that I am special, but I am nothing without you.
I'm nothing without you. That's an interesting take on it, considering that he's a man who is improvising a piano and musical performance whilst improvising the vocals and the lyrics. I dig it. I like the tone of the piano. It's very bright, almost like a star sky. The hand drums are a nice accompaniment to that. And, Espo's vocals are nice and present in the mix as well. It's good.
I said I know that I am special. Yeah, it's true. But I'm nothing without you, Tell me how you want.
There's a sense of urgency with these higher piano parts, but I like how Espo is going between those high and lows for different sections. We're a little bit more reserved with the lower chords, which I think is a nice change from the groove we've got with the higher ones.
Get to know me better. Tell me how you want to be with me, but I can't be nothing special without you. I said I can't be anything but me.
I mean, I think that that's true. I mean, he can't be anything else but himself. That's good words, good rule for life, man. I mean that genuinely, eh? Trying to change yourself to be someone else so someone can wreck you,
I just want you in my life. Why does it seem oh so impossible? I just want you in my life. Yeah, why does it seem so difficult?
Nice little flourish on the end there for the tail. We recognize that we needed to shake it up a little bit for the next section. And that chaos there at the end, that freneticism of that higher melody there, those arpeggios, can kind of simulate the frustration that can come by asking why is it so difficult,
So difficult without you. I got nothing without you.
I kind of enjoy, Westchester as trying to appreciate himself more, but I also feel really bad for Espo, I feel bad for Espo because he's saying that he isn't anything really much without that person, and he's plenty enough on his own, But I suppose, kind of love and affection can sort of, mess with you a little bit, can't it?
I'm nothing without you.
Actually, I'm starting to feel really sad listening to this.
Something something special, more special with you.
It's rough, man.
I just want.
You know, like personal beliefs aside on the matter, though, like it shows that duality between being with someone and not, and the split sides you can have with your spouse, especially in a situation where you might be dependent on that person in order to feel valued.
Want you to see me tonight. I just want to hold you so tight. I know that I could be happier with you. Let me come to your country. Let me be alone with you. I know.
So we're getting a bit of development there. We may have mentioned it before, but we're looking at coming over to their country and being with them.
That with you, I'm more special. And I know that I need you, 'cause alone I'm nothing true. I said I just want.
I mean, when you improvise lyrics, often they're going to be your real feelings. It's difficult to just, I mean, you can make stuff up if you want, but it's difficult to make stuff up and it be kind of like an act. You know what I mean? You end up stumbling across your inner truths at some point. Things slip out, you know?
Yeah, I really think we would be special together forever. Forever. Everything could be so special with you. Forever. Forever. With you.
Wow, whoa, 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 whoa. What was that sound? That was a massive volume shift there. Was that like a sort of an outro device? Okay, that was really intense at the end there, but otherwise, I think I appreciated this track, I'm Only Special With You by Espo Espinosa, because this is the conclusion for this review. The story is about someone who is struggling on their own and feels the need to be with the other person in order to feel complete. Espinosa's vocal performance is good. It's a raw vocal performance. I feel like as we continue to develop our voice and become more confident, or just continue to elevate, we hit most of the notes really well. I'm not sure, and I mean this nicely and gently, because this is something I need to do as well. I need to get sort of tips on vocal technique and stuff. I'm wondering if it would be helpful for Espo Espinosa to just like consult with a vocal coach or someone who can help them use the entirety of themselves to kind of voice the notes, as opposed to like the throat and this side, if Espo isn't already. Again, most of the notes will hit really well vocally, but you can get a lot more power if you're able to use the entirety of your frame, especially your core around this part. So if this isn't something that Espo is already doing, I thoroughly recommend doing that. You might even be able to extend your vocal range, but you'll definitely have more power in your vocal performance and you'll have a greater dynamic range. Although it's that said, it was definitely, there's dynamic range to this performance. We understood when to sort of step back a little bit with the intensity of the singing. With the performance, and then we went a little bit harder in those chorus sections where we had some higher range stuff, some ascensions there, and the drums and the piano coming in. Structure of it had a verse, chorus kind of vibe to it, which I could appreciate. I also enjoyed how the piano and the drum grooves were different. The drums, whenever they came in, had a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and kind of eighth note groove going. With a nice sense of dynamic range to that performance with some ghost notes in there. But the piano was either, apart from the really, really fast frenetic, like kind of stuff like that, it was definitely quarter notes a lot of the time, or whole notes in those lower parts and those slower sections. And I think that contrast there allowed for Westchester's vocals to have plenty of room in the mix. Nothing felt like it was trying to overwhelm the storytelling device. And we could hear the story clearly because of that. The arrangement was good. in addition to the way that the vocals are voiced and told. And the melodic main musical themes present in here were relatively simple, but they were effective. I mean that genuinely. I don't really think you'd need to add much more than this. You could embellish it by adding additional layers there and maybe filling out some of the frequency spectrum a bit more with some instruments in like the mids to lows, but aside from that, it's fine. I say that just because the piano was almost always very high, and the drums, you know, while they do cover a bit of that low and mid end, they aren't necessarily a melodic device, so you could have like a bass in there or something like that. But I'm not going to tell Espo how to write his music. These are just suggestions. I mean, finally, the recording, mixing, mastering, the overall production of it was good. I'm not sure how the vocals were recorded, but it was alright. I really look forward to when Espo is able to get a hold of something like an XLR mic or like a Rode NT1 or something like that, or like something that you can connect to an interface. If he's not doing that already, I just feel like it's going to elevate the... But I understand, I think the app he's using is a phone app, so he might have been using the microphone on his phone, which is actually surprisingly good. The technology on phones these days has improved a lot. I sincerely doubt that it will compete with like the really high-end mics. So you're definitely not going to get a U87 sound out of a Samsung or an iPhone mic, but it's fine. The mixing was relatively good. I liked how the piano, the drums were panned around the headphones a little bit. The piano was mostly in the center a lot of the time. It may have been a mono recording. Typically, if we can get the piano sound a bit more sort of like bit wider in the stereo field, it helps to give more room to the vocals, especially when they're occupying a similar frequency range. The EQing was pretty good considering what we had to work with. The compression limiting was nice. Although we had that massive shift in volume at the end with that outro part, which makes me wonder whether that was either was like boosted or something like that. I'm not sure. But either way, that was effectively my review of I'm Only Special With You by Espo Espinosa. I think this is a good song. I've listened to a lot of stuff from Espo Espinosa, who also has the moniker of Westchester. And, you know, we've had a big journey over the last year or two, but I'm typically quite happy with what I hear from this musician nowadays, and I think that there's been some great progress over the last while. So if you enjoyed this track, please do go show Espo Espinosa some love via his various social medias and his YouTube page. Stay cool and stay safe, and please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as either help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. And I'll catch you in the next review. Spiderhands out.